I'm Mungo Darkmatter, and welcome to Dark Matters. Today on Dark Matters, I'm going to review the Wacom Bamboo Create Pen and Touch tablet. Wacom puts out a bunch of different touch tablets, and this one is the Create, and it has twice the drawing area of the next two touch pads below it. For about a total of 8.5 by 5.4 inch drawing area. The size of the actual tablet itself is about the size of a piece of legal paper. It's a little slightly smaller. Alright, first I'm going to demonstrate the how the touch tablet works, and we'll talk about it some. Alright, first off, you can use either your hand or a pen that comes with it. And so we'll start off with our hand and touch the button there to turn on touch sensitivity. You cannot use the pen and your hand at the same time, but you can switch back and forth between them easily enough. So I'm going to just tap on there and close the window that we just had open. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up an application, which is the Bamboo menu application that has some of the Bamboo applications already in there. The tablet comes with some free applications such as Adobe Photoshop Elements. We're going to open up this first application here, which is like a little notebook. It's just like a notebook, and you can write in and draw on it, do whatever you want. Now, the touch tablet, when you're using it with your fingers, it works just like a touchpad on a laptop. So you can pick up your hand and move it and then go back and pick it up again, much like you do with a mouse. When you're moving a mouse around the screen, you pick it up and you off of the surface and then move it back and slide it again so that you can move it around the entire surface. When you're using the pen actually maps out to this entire surface right here, and so it's one-to-one. They have a great tutorial with this touch tablet, and I recommend that you go through the tutorial if you buy one, because it will save you a lot of time, and it's a little hard to figure out without going through the tutorial. You can do it, but it's much faster if they tell you, okay, you got to lift the pen up off of the pad at this point, move it to where you want it, and then tap it twice and all of that. So the tutorial saves a lot of time. It's really good. It doesn't take long to go through either. Alright, so I'm going to move to the pen at this point because this application is really works well with the pen, and we're going to be writing in it. Then we switch to full size. Alright, there we go. It takes a little getting used to working with the pen because you have to be looking at the screen and drawing on the pad. So if you look at the pad when you're drawing on it, it doesn't come out quite right on the screen. So you got to get used to looking at the screen and drawing with the pen. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to write something. Alright, also you need to get the pad oriented correctly, just as you would need to orient a mouse correctly depending on where your screen is. So you may need to work on that. The other thing is, this is a larger pad than the smaller pad, so you need a little more room for this particular pad, so that's something to consider. The nice thing is it's a larger, and so when you're drawing or writing on it, it's a 1-to-1 ratio to the screen, and the smaller one you would have to adjust to it being smaller. They actually make bigger pads than this as well. Alright, so let's go over to this side over here, and let's just write oops, go back up here to our page. Right, the word test there. All right, you can actually, so it's pretty nice because you can actually erase the entire page by going here and clearing the page on this particular application. All right, so let's get out of this application, and we're going to close it down. We can use the pen or our fingers just as we would on a mouse to kind of open windows, reduce them, resize them, and do all sorts of things. And the tutorial goes through that, and it will go through how to use the pad with your hand or with the pen, which is really nice because older pads that just had like a pen that you used and didn't have the touch built into them, you'd have to put your pen down as you were working on the keyboard, and then you pick the pen back up again to use it as a mouse. And so you'd either have to switch between your mouse and the touchpad or be picking up the pen all the time. This way you can actually just touch this button here to activate the touch pad for your fingers and use your fingers to manipulate it. The thing you have to remember though is you need to keep the pen a certain distance away from the touch pad when you're using your hand, because it will pick up and think that you're using the pen, and it will be looking for that, so it could confuse it. Alright, let's go to this application here. This is Corel Painter Essentials, which comes with the touch tablet, and we're going to go to drawing, painting, and just start a painting here. One thing I wanted to show with this is when you're using a brush or a pen or other implement in a drawing program with this touch tablet, it is pressure sensitive. So if we start out light and then start pressing down harder and harder and harder and harder, it affects the way the line is drawn. So that's a really nice function of the pen and tablet here. So it's just like using a regular brush or pen. It's going to change depending on the way you apply pressure to it. So that's a very nice feature to that. Let's see what this looks like. See what a pencil looks like here. I don't think I select that. Hold on a second. So anyway, that's the way the Wacom pen and touch tablet works. It's a really great touch tablet. I really like the way that it works with either your hand or a pen. That makes it very, very, very convenient to work with. It is pressure sensitive. You can get applications that are like regular notebooks, so if you just want to write or make little drawings or doodles, you can do that. If you get a full paint program, the touch sensitivity is really nice on it because it really gives you the variations that you would have in a real brush, a real life brush, as opposed to a digital one or pen or anything. So it gives you that flexibility and that gradation of control. It takes a little bit of getting used to. It's not like using a regular brush per se, that the feel is going to be a little bit different to it, of course, but you'll get used to it after time. The important thing to remember is you want to be watching the screen when you're using it, as opposed to watching the tablet, because then you can see what's actually going on. You actually lift up the pen at times and you can move it and you can see where the cursor is right here, and it's not drawing anything until I touch down on it. So that's another thing to be aware of. Once again, I highly recommend the tutorial on it and to take that first, because that will save you a lot of time, and you'll learn how to use it much faster, I think. I'm Mungo Darkmatter, and this has been Dark Matters, and whatever you do, enjoy technology.